Happy New Year! I am so excited that this is my very first post and it's for New Year's Eve. This is my bonus love message reading for the collective. So for each zodiac sign, I'm going to go through one by one. But first I'm going to give a general message that I got while I was meditating prior to doing this. First of all, please just let me say that all are welcome. My name is Andy. I didn't even say that. Again, hi, welcome. My name is Andy, and I am so new to this, but I am so excited. So if you are here, you are probably interested in twin flames, soulmates, love and relationship readings. That's what I'm about. And this is a general love message reading for New Year's Eve. I also want to say that cross watchers are welcome. Please choose your signs. Please also watch your sun, moon, rising, north node placements, any prominent placements that you have. I would suggest watching because there's bound to be a little something in there for you. Also, please take what resonates for you and leave what doesn't for someone else, because someone else will be able to receive that message. Sometimes the messages are specific more than others. So in saying that, I did get messages in my meditations prior to doing this, and I want to relay them as for the full collective. And the first thing that I received was, and it was like this rainbow effect, and it was just like an echo in my mind. I will always love you more than you know, even during the times we are apart. It just seemed to, honestly, I'm using the word echo again, because it seemed to almost reverberate in my mind, and it created this literal rainbow effect of the words, which was absolutely beautiful. And so it gave me this idea that it's probably for twin flames. It had that really twin flame feel about it. And so if that's you, if you are on the twin flame journey, if it's something that you're curious about, perhaps maybe you're starting into the journey, maybe you're even in union, this could be for you. I also got the message of, you are forgetting. Don't forget. So to me, this suggested, again, it still had a very twin flame feel, which was not the intention when I started out doing the meditation or even wanting to do anything for this New Year's Eve reading. But it just has this very twin flamey feel. Don't forget, you are forgetting. Don't forget the connection. Don't forget where it started. Don't forget union of self. Don't forget. And it just has this really strong enveloping of my heart when I heard that, and when I keep saying it over and over and over again. It's like my heart is being given a hug. And I feel like there are so many of you out there that are probably like, yeah, you know what? Maybe that was purposeful. Maybe I was trying to forget. But don't. Allow it to be. Allow yourself to remember, even if it hurts, because separation does hurt. And a lot of it is separating yourself from ego. And that's a whole other topic of conversation. But I also got another message, and this to me really did kind of have to do with the whole stream of messages as well. But it was of my hands, and I heard through my hands to your heart. And I watched how my hands were being wrapped up in like a cloth, like linen or gauze, something like that. And it was just one singular hand, like for each arm. So it wasn't as if there were two hands being wrapped up together, just one hand for each arm. And so that really brought it home to me that this really has to do with union of self prior to anything. So you have to really be at one with yourself, really go inside and find that love that you have for you before any other kind of union, even if that never comes about. Because if you know anything about the twin flame journey, it's all about your own healing. It's all about your own path and your own self-discovery and love and acceptance of yourself. So that's that's what I got for starting this reading for New Year's Eve, which again was a little bit different than I kind of expected, but be that as it may, that's how we're starting off. And so why don't we get into it? Why don't we get into the signs and see what else Spirit has to say? All right, Aries. So your overarching energy was a search. That basically entails, that you may be feeling some loneliness. You may be disheartened in this winter season. It is winter in the Northern Hemisphere. So sometimes we can get, those bouts of sads, and sometimes it can be hard to see through those times. It's murky. It can be lonely, and confused. And if that's you, the loam is suggesting that there's a way through the confusion, that you've been searching for something a little bit more, and this is more about unconditional giving and receiving. So trying to let go of that loneliness or that confusion and doing something unconditional, like an act of kindness out of the goodness of your own heart without any expectations, can start to lessen that heaviness that comes from the loneliness or that period of darkness. So just allowing yourself to give unconditionally, because in that way you will end up receiving in an unconditional way, and it could just be a word of kindness back to you, but without expectations. And then of course you have Oi, that gnome, and this is really, almost talking about that same thing, about that confusion and working through that. This is, hang on, I had a note here. Yeah, the breaking free of old habits in those limited beliefs. That's what I wanted to say. It was the breaking free of old habits, of tired habits. So perhaps being in this stuckness, in this block, in the blockages, you'll be able to see the possibilities that are before you. And especially if you are just sort of letting yourself go in love, let down that guard and just walk into a possibility. Just give thanks, give gratitude to someone. Perhaps it's somebody that you cared for, perhaps it's a friend, perhaps it's a family member, and just give some thanks and some gratitude. I think will see you a long way, because then you have the Singer of Courage, and that's really stepping past your boundaries. That's really taking that act of bravery, being in that bravery and allowing all of that to really manifest for you. So it seems that this is like your way out into something so much bigger for you. So I wouldn't necessarily take this as your be all and end all, because through your acts of kindness, your unconditional, without expectation, kindness and giving, you're going to start to see possibilities for yourself, see those footsteps into possibilities and into greatness, because that takes bravery and courage. But you're going to have that confidence to see that through, and it is just opening up to something so great. And you can really see how expansive that is. So don't feel like you're lost and you're stuck. That blockage is lessening. And you can really see that. You can really allow yourself, if you can allow yourself to start giving, you will start to be receiving, and that courage will befall you. So I feel like all in all, this is such a lovely little time for you, and I would just remember that for New Year's Eve. Maybe somebody's there that you need to really speak to. Maybe you need to give a hug to someone who needs it. So that's what I have for you, Aries. I hope that helps. Actually, before I go, I just wanted to give that affirmation for the search, because I just think they're absolutely beautiful. So it's in the Gaia Oracle Guidebook, and you had the search, and the affirmation is, all is well in my life. I give thanks for the changing seasons. In solitude, I grow stronger and wiser. My mind is clear. My heart is open. I am always on the right path. And I think that's exactly what your message today has been about. So please take that in heart. Hello, Leo. So this is you. You are up. I am first going to give an overall energy from the Gaia Oracle, and then clarify with 3 cards from the Fairy Oracle. Oh, wow, right off the bat. Okay. So you have the Temptress, seduction, deceit, a broken promise. Let's see what's up with that. Remember, this is for New Year's Eve. So a message for New Year's Eve for Leo, please and thank you. 3 cards. 3 cards, Spirit, 3 cards. 2 more cards, please, for Leo. 2 more cards. 1 more card. 1 more card for Leo, thank you. 1 more card, 1 more card, 1 card. I've been really itchy. Right, wrong note. Okay, So we've got the singer of the chalice. Luathus, the wild. And the maiden. Wow. I get a very pulling energy from this, almost like opposite energies, but ones that are very tied together. All right, Leo. Okay, so this Temptress at first kind of made me feel a little bit like, okay, feeling a little bit wary here about something, maybe a little bit cautious, and maybe not letting the seduction of whatever is going on between you and someone to get in the way. So just sort of taking maybe the elements of the glitz and the glam out of the whole picture and really looking at it for what it is, I think would be the best idea. And then of course, you have the singer of the chalice, which is trusting your intuition. So it makes sense that, you know, you might want to have that air of caution. But this is about joy, and it's about hope, and it's about miracles. So this isn't saying that this is anything bad, but it's just saying don't be seduced by the glamour of a situation. You don't need that. It's not about the things, it's about the person, it's about the connection. And so I think that there's so much hope and joy to come in this situation that you're sort of new. Is it new? It feels like it's probably really new. You also have Luathus, the wild, which is, you know, it's about impulsiveness, it's about haste. So, I mean, you could be rushing into something, but I would just take that from a balanced perspective. And honestly, sometimes with this card, it's not of the energy of putting something to a halt or you are being too impulsive. And it is about go for that thing. Go for it now. Don't be hasty. And I'm getting more of that energy from this card. Don't be hasty and go for this thing that's right in front of you. Even though it may seem like there's a lot of stuff involved, outer stuff, material stuff, promises, things that can seem a little bit wild, a little bit almost too good to be true. So just weed that out and let yourself be guided by your intuition. Because you're there for a reason. You've met this person for a reason. And I say, go for it. This card is saying, hey, bud, it's time. And then we have the maiden here, which is the suggestion of new beginnings, of something that's so almost like immature. It's the immature days. It's this beautiful new beginning. So I would say, let this materialize. Let this kind of just happen. Let it flow, because it's exhilarating. And it's honestly about letting go of old patterns so that you can be in this new beginning without old patterns. Without all the outside stuff, without the promises, without any of that. You don't need it, and that's communication as well. But underneath it all, there's a real, true beginning here for you. And I think that really needs to be what you need to do, is just trust that intuition. Trust yourself. You know how you feel. You know that connection. You don't need the seduction. You don't need all the promises of the sun and the moon and the stars. But you know what's really there. You know about that foundation. So I'm just going to end this with reading the Gaia's affirmation of the Temptress, because I think they're so beautiful. So this one is, again, the Temptress. I listen to and trust my intuition. I look at every situation from a grounded and balanced point of view. Every positive has a negative, and vice versa. I look beyond the superficial and find the truth. I look for substance, and I am not swayed by wild promises. Leo, I think you got this. You know what to do. I hope you have a wonderful New Year's Eve. Sag, you're up. New Year's Eve, so this is what I'm going to do. So you're going to have one card as your overarching energy from the Gaia deck, and then I'm going to pull 3 cards from the Fairies Oracle as clarifiers. So one card, please, for Sagittarius for New Year's Eve 2022. One card, please. Ooh. Why isn't that interesting? That shouldn't have been in there. What in the hey? Okay, that one definitely wanted to come out. I don't know how that happened, but 3 clarifiers, please. 3 clarifiers for Sagittarius for New Year's Eve. Thank you. Thank you. 3 clarifying cards. Just one, please. One there. Right. Singer of Courage. 2 more cards, please, for Sagittarius for New Year's Eve. Oakman. Okay, so looks like we have the Ganesha as your overarching energy, clearing away obstacles, protection, and guidance. Along with that, to clarify, we have the Singer of Courage, the Oakmen, and the Singer of Connection. This is definitely very spiritual night. You have something going on for you today. Saggies, this has a lot to do with strength. I feel like every single card here has something to do with a form of strength. First of all, you have your overarching, which tells about clearing the way, about good fortune to come. You've taken this time, you've learned from the past, and you've been doing healing and allowing these things to leave you because they no longer serve you, so that way you can move on to something greater. Then to support that, we have the Singer of Courage, which literally depicts the same thing. And it's just really about, your own moral strength, letting go of your fears and allowing yourself the courage and the bravery to move forward. And then alongside that, you have the Oakman, which is also about strength and like this ancient wisdom and depth. It's like you've really been learning from your past, whether it be a relationships, but you've been taking what you know from those times with those people that you've had, and be that as it may that they haven't worked out, it's like you've put that to rest and you've allowed yourself to walk away so much stronger with so much more wisdom to apply in something new and in your life now. So it just feels like you're so ready. And then as your last card, you have the Singer of Connection, which basically entails that you've kind of let go or gotten through some karma. So maybe your previous relationship or relationships had been pretty karma based and you had a lot of lessons to really learn from those, but you've been taking it in. You've been learning from them. No matter how much it may hurt or it may have angered you or it's been frustrating and you feel like, my God, that's been a waste of time, but it hasn't. And you now know why. And you have taken everything that you've learned and you've been so aware, and you're just really applying that now in your life. And it's like, man, I feel proud. I feel so proud of you. Jeepers, you've come a long way, haven't you? So I feel like this particular New Year's Eve, you just feel ready. You feel confident. You've cleared the path. You are allowing someone new to come in. And that is just, it's so beautiful. You are so ready. Like, freaking good job. So I just want to leave the reading with number 31. Just reading the affirmation from here. So I am protected and guided by a higher power. When the path is blocked, I take this as a sign to wait. I give thanks for divine intervention. When the path is clear, I move forward with ease. All that occurs or does not occur is for my highest good. And truly, doesn't that feel like your entire message tonight? So have the best New Year's Eve. I feel like you so deserve this. Happy New Year's. All right, Virgos, you are up. And so just to let you know, this is going to be, what are you doing in there, you little sneaky sneakster? How did that happen? That's the second time that that's happened. So I don't know what I've been doing, but anyway. So tonight I'm going to use the Gaia deck for your overarching energy and going to clarify with the Fairies Oracle 3 cards. So let's get into it. One card, please, is the overarching energy for Virgo for New Year's 2022. That's feeling right. Ooh, woo. Virgo, please and thank you. 3 clarifying cards for New Year's Eve 2022. Singer of Intuition. 2 more cards, please. daughters, wild daughters. A collection of pixies. Looks like you're in for a fun night. So, listen, Virgo, you were dealt a little heavy hand here, but I do believe that you're coming out on top. So basically, your first card in overarching energy is reflection, and it is about looking at basically if things are not really working the way that you want them to in your outer world, what exactly is not working within. And it's suggesting maybe to sit in those feelings and observe them and be aware of them. Then basically, this is exactly what the singer of intuition is saying. Basically, to go within and really sit and dive deep into your emotions and into your feelings, and trust what's there, because information is available to you. You just have to be aware of the subtleties, which you can. So give yourself some time. Allow yourself to, before you go out on New Year's Eve or whatever, just really kind of give yourself that time and space to feel what's inside of you and trust it. Because Espana's Wild Daughters is generally about shadow work. Maybe you're feeling a little depressed right now. Maybe there's some fears that you have that you haven't really addressed. So by going in, or really just sort of addressing what it is that maybe you've been putting off. You know, we all do it. We're all busy. But it's not going to go away. So allow yourself to feel into it and start to move past those things. And just listen to that inner knowing. Because then afterwards you have a collection of pixies, which is basically, it's like a joyful approach to tackling these matters. So it's not that you need to sit in despair. Look at alternative ways of getting through this stuff. Maybe you're not feeling the greatest right now. Maybe it's been a hard holiday season. A lot of people have been going through that kind of stuff. Maybe you're just so busy. So instead of just feeling icky, try a different approach to feeling into these things, and basically saying, it's New Year's Eve. You know, let's have a great time. You're probably with friends and family, and if you're not, that's okay too. Play some music that you love. Do something that makes you personally feel good. And you will start to really move past that by gaining the information that you already know. It's already there for you. You've been sitting on it. You know what to do. I think this is going to be a great night, and I'm just kind of happy for you. So I'm just going to read from the Gaia, just the affirmation for reflection, because why not? They're so beautiful. So for this, my heart is full of love and light. All is well in my world. I feel the peace within me, and this creates peace around me. I observe all I think and feel. Each negative thought or feeling is automatically transformed to love. Right? By moving through your fears, you embrace the love in you. So that's it. I hope you have a wonderful New Year's, and I'll see you soon. Okay, Taurus, this one's for you. This is your reading for New Year's Eve 2022. So what I'm going to do is take one overarching energy from the Gaia deck and clarify with 3 from the Fairies Oracle. So here we go, onward. 1 card for Taurus for New Year's Eve 2022. 1 card, please. Ooh, Moonlight Goddess. And 3 cards to clarify, please and thank you. 3 cards to clarify. Taurus for New Year's Eve 2022. Oh, whoa, oh. Okay, that is not what we want. Right, so Taurus, a lot of what is going on for you this time is about your own path of healing. So in saying that, your overall energy is the Moonlight Goddess. So you're looking at repressed emotions, healing, and reflections, and basically it's like whatever is your emotions or your repressed emotions are just kind of reflecting back at you. And I feel like you're in a place where you can let down maybe a guard that you have up, and you can start to talk about your emotions. You're in a safe place where you can start to express yourself freely, with vulnerability, and again, because it's safe to do so. And I think you also feel that it's quite safe because you've been going through this time of transformation with this singer of transformation. It's extremely passionate and joyous. It's basically this time of success for what you've already come through. And it's kind of suggesting that, hey, you know what? You've already come through a cycle, and now it's almost time to prepare for that next climb, for the new cycle, for a new beginning, because you have come through a lot of your own healing. So it's, again, safe to talk about all of those things and being open about it all. The next card that you have is the Soul of Shrinker. And this is basically, entailing forgiveness. So it's almost like you've had to forgive yourself some things. At least that's what this is kind of depicting with all this transformation and this healing and self-reflection. It's like it's time to forgive yourself and let all of that go, because now you're climbing up a new path. So you've taken everything that you've learned, you've transformed, and now you're taking that with you, and you're heading out somewhere new, and you're lightening that load because you're able to now forgive yourself of these things, of this malice, of this almost cruelty, I guess. A lot of times we harbor these cruel things about ourselves and we just let them fester and fester. And I think you're able to now let that go and see a way through that. So that's kind of a little blessing, not necessarily in disguise, but it's definitely an outcome from that. And just to really piggyback on that, you have this, what's her name? Tubera, I don't know if I'm saying these names right, but Tubera of the waters. And again, you're talking about water, it's emotion, it's fluid, it's change. So you've been able to kind of wade those waters through perhaps storms or calm seas. And well, now you're probably in those calmer seas to be able to paddle your way into something new. Oh my God, that was silly. But it's kind of like now you have a choice. You can now step into something new, and you can choose that path where you're headed in that newness, up that new hill, or in this case, waters. You know, maybe you're gonna choose that that nice river as opposed to the crazy stormy sea. I don't know, but it just kind of feels like you are now in a place where you've done your healing and you're ready to accept this new thing that's coming into your life, and you are ready for that. So this is quite lovely in of itself, because now you're into that blessing, right? So why don't you just allow that and have a great New Year's Eve. So that's what I would say, Taurus. I hope you have the best New Year's. So Taurus, I just wanted to read the Moonlight Goddess affirmation for you before we go. So it is, I give thanks for the healing that is taking place now in my life. I express all I feel honestly and lovingly, without fear or apprehension. I am safe. I am loved. I am one with the goddess. I am one with the earth and all creation. Capricorn, my lovelies, you are up next. So just as I've been telling all of the other signs, I'm using 2 decks today. This one is going to be for your overall energy from the Gaia deck, and then I'm clarifying with 3 cards from the Fairies Oracle deck. So right off the bat, let's get started. So Capricorn, for New Year's Eve, 1 card for the overall energy. New Year's Eve 2022. New Year's Eve 2022. 1 card, please. 1 card. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Ooh, already sounds promising. And 3 cards to clarify. 3 cards, please, for New Year's Eve for Capricorn. Please for Capricorn, New Year's Eve. 2 more cards, please. 2 more cards for Capricorn. Thank you. 1 more card, please. 1 more card for Capricorn. Oh, how very interesting. Capricorns, what a reading. So basically, this is just beginnings and endings. Your overall energy is the ocean of eternal love. And so basically it's, you know, it says healing, creativity, fertility, but basically it's entailing a new cycle, newness, and, you know, the whole love conquers all. So this is just like, this is joy, and this is bliss, and this is just, you're walking into this newness with a joyful heart. And to accompany that, we have first the Friends card, and this is also talking about newness, about a new cycle, but it also says that there's greatness in being able to ask for help or guidance or assistance from a loved one, from friends, or alternatively, maybe someone you love needs some support, and that's something that you can offer them at this time, maybe with your newfound wisdom in this new cycle and of change in your life. Maybe there's something that you've come out of will really benefit someone that you know and love. Or it can just really be about even talking about what you've overcome and into your new cycle of life. But being with friends and being with people that you love, and being able to offer that unconditional exchange of wisdom and joy will really sort of bring about this new you in this new cycle. And this mickle it kind of entails like everyday blessings. So being aware of those things and being so grateful for them is also like harboring that newness and being in this new cycle. So it just kind of feels like, you know, New Year's Eve for you is just this ultimately joyous experience, night of being around those that you really care about and who truly care about you in return, whether it's one person, whether it's family, or a whole group of people who you just feel safe and abundant with. It's kind of saying like, even though you may have been going through some struggles, you know, kind of lighten up that load. And you don't necessarily need to overcomplicate things. So maybe that's what it's kind of saying, is that like maybe you just need to unload a little bit, and you'll let your friends in or a loved one in on some matters that, even though you have overcome this cycle, you just need to kind of let it out. Maybe it's something that you've been kind of keeping to yourself, and that's something that you kind of need to finally tell people about, and they can kind of support you in that and in this new possible venture. Because, you know, it comes down to the fact that we have this Death card, which in any pretty much oracle or tarot, it's talking about irrevocable change, right? We've let go of cycles. This is something that you've let go of. You've walked away from It's no longer a part of you. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. You know, you're on to greatness. You're into eternal love of absolute abundance and blessings and this fertility, this newness. You're in this beautiful new cycle, and you have so many people around you who are able to support you in this. And I would just, you know, I would give that back in return. And I think you're just going to have the most beautiful, fun-filled, wonderful New Year's. In saying that, I'm going to read from the Gaia Oracle about the ocean of eternal love. Just read you the affirmation. So, ocean of eternal love. Love heals. Love brings resolution. Love conquers. Love creates. Love is eternal. So with that, Capricorn, I hope you have the most amazing New Year's Eve, and I'll see you soon. Gemini, it's your turn. You are up. So as I've been saying with everyone, I'm doing an overall energy from the Gaia Oracle, and then I'm clarifying 3 cards from the Fairies Oracle. So here we are, here we go. So I would like 1 card, 1 overall energy for New Year's Eve for Gemini, please. New Year's Eve 2022. 1 card for Gemini, 1 card for Gemini, please. 1 card for Gemini. I feel like it's that one. Ooh, the message. And 3 cards to clarify, please. 3 cards to clarify the message for Gemini. New Year's Eve 2022. New Year's Eve. Message for Gemini to clarify. 2 more, please. 2 more cards. 1 more card, please. 1 more for Gemini. So Gemini, this is you have an interesting night. So you literally have the message, which is basically about celebration. Good news is on its way to you. So if you've been waiting to hear from somebody or hear about something, you can rest assured that you're going to be hearing that positive outcome. So to clarify that, I think it's called Meek the Meomancer. And this is sort of saying, pay attention to the small clues. Be patient. But that blessing or that good news that you're waiting to hear is definitely on its way. But basically, you will know before you even get that news. You're already going to know what's coming. So if you are just aware of the little things, because the little things tend to be these monumental things. And Theon the poet kind of talks about that as well, because this is also about the signs, and I mean, this is definitely about creative writing. So it's kind of like, but putting that aside, it can also be about like your third eye, like clear sight. That's what I'm trying to say. Clear sight, in that perhaps maybe your clairvoyance is really coming out to play, and you've been noticing that you have these small details that you're kind of noticing, that you're seeing. You have these visions, and if not, maybe trying your hand at creative writing for automatic writing. This is also a card of romance too. So if you've been thinking about it in terms of romance or your love life, then again, I would sort of be rest assured that anything that you were hoping for is definitely going to be coming to fruition, with all the little kind of details that you've been noting. You're right. So that message you're hoping to receive is going to be coming soon. And then just as our last little sign, we have, say it, Las Guna. I'm so sorry if I'm not saying these right at all. But basically, this is sunken treasure, self-discovery. Anything that you've been wanting to know, it's already inside of you. You just have to kind of be aware of those tellings. Literally every single thing that we've been talking about in this reading just depicts the exact same message over and over again. Being aware of those little things, you are going to have so much self-discovery. You're going to find that exploration. So even just trying something new, take a different or alternative route to gaining your knowledge or this path of discovery. You're going to be coming out with just the most fantastic, delightful treasures. And I think that that's exactly the message that you're wanting to see, wanting to hear from. So I think that you are in for a wonderful, spectacular, beautiful evening. And I'm hoping that it's going to be so romantic for you. And if not, I hope that you are just receiving all of that positive news or outcome that you've been so desiring. So Happy New Year. And I will see you soon. One more thing before I go. I'm just going to read the Gaia message for you. So the affirmation for the message is, I thank the earth and stars for every blessing. I give thanks for the love that fills and surrounds me. I am loved unconditionally by a benevolent universe. My mind is full of light. My heart is forever grateful. I'm wishing you all the best and have a beautiful New Year's, Gemini. Aquarius, my dear ones, it is your turn. And just as I've been telling everyone, I'm doing a overall energy from the Gaia deck and then pulling 3 cards from the Fairies Oracle as clarifiers. So for you on New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2022, one card please for Aquarius. One card. Perception beyond the veil of illusion. And 3 cards to clarify. 3 cards, please, for Aquarius for New Year's. 3 cards, please. Okay. Okay, Aquarius, so you start off with perception, which is beyond the veil of illusion. And it's basically about standing your ground and standing in your own truth. So to me, this is saying that you kind of need to take a little stand right now. to go on top of that, you have the topsy-turvets, which suggests taking a different view, or looking at the situation or scenario from a different angle, a different viewpoint, and maybe even putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, just to make sure that you're not having your emotions rule the situation or your standpoint. Sometimes when we get opinions, it can often be ruled by our emotions. We want to take emotion and ego away from this and really just taking a very truthful standpoint. So allowing yourself to really remove yourself from the scenario and looking at something from a different angle or somebody else's shoes. Next we have Meek the Meomancer. I can never say that right. So basically saying that patience is key. So looking for those little details, because oftentimes in those little nuances we find those bigger keys, or basically that door will open and you will be enlightened with something bigger at hand. So having patience is key, so that way you can really stand in that truth from a perspective that's from a very balanced position. Next up we have Las Guanas. So basically this is about self-discovery or like this sunken treasure. So finding this nugget of gold. But exploration is also key in this. So while we're saying that, looking at something from a different angle, exploring something that maybe you haven't done before will help to put you into that position, and having patience with that while you explore and while you discover and while you kind of materialize that is definitely going to help you with that perception and putting yourself past that veil of illusion, taking your emotions out of the whole thing and just allowing yourself to kind of really have a full, balanced, grounded picture of this scenario, and you're really going to find that you will be on top. And it seems like this is just a very grounded and sort of wise energy. So I feel like you're going to have a really balanced and intuitively guided night. Like it's just, I'm just getting this really well-rounded, peaceful feeling of just expansive wisdom for you. So I hope you have the best night, the best New Year's. I'm just going to finish off by reading the affirmation about perception from the Gaia deck. So it says, I honor another's truth, but stand firm within my own. I am comfortable with who I am. I keep an open heart and mind. I empower myself when I honor my values. In being true to me, I am also true to others. And that sounds about right. So I'm wishing you the best New Year's Eve, and I will see you soon. All right, Libra, you're next on the docket. So as I've been telling everyone, I am taking a overall energy from the Gaia deck, and then I'm clarifying 3 cards with the Oracle's Fairy deck. So, or Fairy's Oracle, pardon me. So for New Year's Eve for Libra, I just want one card, please. One card for Libra. Overall energy for New Year's Eve 2022. Thank you. The Temptress. And 3 cards. 3 cards, please. Oh, that is way too many. Let's not. Okay. I'm just gonna do that. 3 cards, please. 3 cards. That one feels like it wants to come out. The Singer of Healing. That one also. Alone. One more card, please. For Libra, one more card. Thank you. One more card. One more card, please. Okay, and the Lady of the Harvest. Okay, Libra, you got the Temptress. It says seduction, deceit, a broken promise. And it would seem that, like, try not to be seduced by a situation that maybe you're in that's very elegant or glamorous or glitzy, and try to maybe step back from that to look at the whole picture from a more balanced perspective, because then you have the Singer of Healing, and this is about, it's almost like trigger warning, like it's about healing the mind, body, and spirit. And it's like healing those deep wounds, and it's like you may be asked to step outside yourself to really be able to see that, which it kind of feels like this is that, saying the same thing, like take a step away from the bigness that's going on in your life, at least right now, and be able to sort of like receive that type of healing that maybe your body is asking for, that deeper wound that's being triggered in this moment right now, in this seduction of glamour, of wowing you. And then next to that we have the Lome or Lame. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that, but which is the energy of unconditional giving and receiving. So if you are in a place of giving your time, giving energy, volunteering, an act of kindness, start to maybe not look at your own situation right now, and maybe start focusing on others. It could be loved ones. It could be, again, volunteering at like a homeless shelter or something like that, where it's not about you and it's not about what's going on in your life, and just without any expectation whatsoever, just giving your own love and giving your own time and giving your own joyous energy, you're going to be able to find a little bit more of that that lightened load, that healing, which it will just naturally start to come, but you're going to be able to see it a lot better again once you step outside of all this stuff that's going on in your life that might be exciting, but maybe that's the reason why you're almost like being deceived, almost like a little trickster energy that you kind of need to push it all away so you can get to the root of that problem. And then after that, you have Lady of the Harvest, and this is like grief and loss and a harvest and release. So it's kind of saying that you can release those wounds, you can release that past, and you can gain that harvest. And it's going to come from giving yourself unconditionally. You're going to be able to step outside of the temptress, and you're going to be able to come into your own. So you will be able to receive unconditionally by letting go and by doing your healing work. Again, it feels like a natural progression for you, but you will be able to see it and feel it and know it clearly. And, starting with New Year's, that could maybe be like a New Year's resolution for you, or perhaps, this is someone in your life that you'll be seeing tonight. But either way, it would be such a good time for you to at least begin that process. And while it can still be a beautiful, fun, exciting evening, just take it from a balanced perspective. Just step outside yourself a little bit. And, in the new year, start to focus on your giving. And in return, you will have that harvest, and you'll see what happens. So in saying that, I'm just going to read from the Gaia Oracle book, the affirmation of the Temptress, which is, I listen to and trust my intuition. I look at every situation from a grounded and balanced point of view. Every positive has a negative, and vice versa. I look beyond the superficial and find the truth. I look for substance, and I am not swayed by wild promises. No, you are not. You got this. Okay, that is everything for you. So I hope that you have the most wonderful New Year's, Libra, and I will see you soon. Cancer darlings, you are up. I am just going to tell you, as I've been telling everyone else, that I'm pulling an overall energy from the Gaia Oracle and then 3 clarifying cards from the Fairies Oracle. So off we go. 1 card for Cancer for New Year's Eve 2022. 1 card, please. Oh, that came out as well before. So you have the Moonlight Goddess. And 3 cards to clarify, please. 3 cards to clarify for Cancer. This one has been a popular one, the Lome or the Lame. I don't know how to say it, but that one has been a popular little card tonight. 2 more cards, please. 2 more cards for Cancer. Thank you. 2 more cards. 1 more card, please. Thank you. 1 more card for Cancer for New Year's. 1 more card. 1 more card. Okay. Okay, so Cancer, it looks like you have the Moonlight Goddess, which is repressed emotions, healing, and reflection. And basically, it's healing. And you know, it says that basically you can be healed through your dreams, which are basically messages of your higher self, spirit, source, your subconscious. So you can look to the details in those dreams to help you in that way to uncover what it is basically that needs to unfold for you. You have the Lame, I believe it's pronounced, and this is about unconditional giving and receiving. And it's like, if you look to or focus on an act of kindness and giving your time and energy to others, you can often be healed. Your traumas can start to reflect healing and bring you unconditional joy and peace. You will feel gratitude in your life for all the things that you have and what you are giving without any expectations. Next, you have Titan the Sylph, and this is like acute intellect and a quickness and essentially like adaptability to situations and scenarios. So perhaps this is something new, like new ideas, or looking to apply new ideas to old situations and being able to adapt in this new scenario. And it's like a better understanding of yourself and of the healing that you essentially need. It can come down to goodwill and clear thinking. Beside that, or the last card that you have is Bodacious, the Bodacious Bodoc. And this can be about self-sabotage and meddling. It could be somebody else meddling in your affairs. It could be literally you meddling in your affairs. It feels to me like there's some self-sabotage going on. That's what I kind of get from all of this and from this whole message about healing. Because if you want to kind of go forth into this new year with your new ideas and better understandings of yourself, then stepping outside of yourself, giving to others unconditionally, finding that energy for other people and giving your love to other people will essentially allow you to step away from things kind of not going maybe the way you planned, or relying on your own, not relying, but sometimes we default to self-sabotage. And if we are focusing on someone else other than ourselves, other than a project that we would want to accomplish, then you're going to be able to see that path to healing so much clearer, you know, and you're going to have that reflection and you're going to be able to see it so much easier. So I think that this message just sort of entails to get outside yourself, stop meddling in your own affairs, start to focus your energy on others around you, even if it's volunteering your time or looking after somebody's dog, or just being a really good friend or support system to somebody without any expectations. And you're going to find such a stronger, clearer understanding of your own traumas and healing that you need to go through. And I feel like a lot of the readings tonight have been about healing, but in love and relationships, it feels like we've had such a challenging 2022. A lot of us have been feeling these same things. I know I have as well. And I'm not a Cancer, but I'm just sort of really feeling a lot of these messages, and especially this one with our own self-sabotaging deflections, or that we have towards our own path of healing. So in saying that, I'm just going to read from the Gaia Oracle Guidebook for Moonlight Goddess before I go. So I give thanks for the healing that is taking place now in my life. I express all I feel honestly and lovingly, without fear or apprehension. I am safe. I am loved. I am one with the goddess. I am one with the earth and all creation. So that's it for you, Cancer, and I hope you have a wonderful New Year's and start to 2023, and I will see you soon. Pisces, my darlings, you are up next, and just as I've been telling everyone, I'm pulling one energy for the overall message from the Gaia Oracle, and then I'm clarifying with 3 cards from the Fairies Oracle. So, 1 card, please, for Pisces, New Year's Eve, 2022. 1 card, please, for Pisces. 1 card, please, for Pisces. There we go. Liberation. And 3 cards, please, to clarify Pisces for New Year's Eve 2022. New Year's Eve for Pisces, 3 cards, please. That is the whole deck, not 3. Just 3 cards. 2 cards, please. And 1 more, thank you. 1 more card. Pisces, 1 more. Alrighty, Roo. So Pisces, we have liberation, which is breaking free from a negative attachment, which can sometimes entail a codependent nature, something that we've been sort of emotionally attached to that had felt so wonderful and freeing and positive in the beginning, but over time had become this almost dare I say, obsession and codependent behaviors. So the fact that this is saying just, it's liberation from that, we're literally starting to detach now. And going alongside that, we have the energy of the Rar, which is kind of, it's not a negative energy and it's not like this positive one, but it has this enthusiasm in there, and it's really this wild sort of energy to work with, and allowing it to like process inside of you. It feels like it's like I'm literally like going around my heart chakra, just kind of going like, yes, we're really building like this, I want to say zany energy. But being attentive to that energy, and setting intentions, being intentional with that energy is really going to help to kind of own it in. So it's like you can actually take that energy and you can accomplish so much with it. And that really actually pertains to this next card, which is collection of pixies, which is basically this like duty, the sense of willingness and creative juices flowing, but of having this awareness of duty. And it's like, take pride and joy in the work that you're doing. Can you see, like, taking pride and joy in the work that you're doing? And it's really just this combustion of enthusiasm to really be this liberating concoction to freeing yourself from energies that perhaps were holding you hostage. And at the very end, we have this singer of connection, which is, it's a very spiritual card of connection, and can be about divine timing, in that everything comes to us, and all the relationships that we have, depending on what kind they are. It could be a friendship, it could be anything in our families, it can be a work situation and relationships, or be it love relationships. But everything has their time and place, and it's like divine timing always seems to take place, and it's always appropriate. So taking a look at that and being aware of the connections and their different aspects really kind of help us break free of the codependent nature that we've been kind of not necessarily, that we kind of just allowed ourselves to glide into without really knowing it. But now, because it's something that we have noted and we have been very attuned with, and we've let it go, it's just now we're in this state of liberation and this freedom to express and ignite this newness, and using the enthusiasm of rar is going to be a really, it's like your great timing. It's like now is your time for detachment and realignment to your spiritual connections and oneness and purpose that you've always maybe known but have never set those intentions. So now is the time to really set those purposeful intentions. And so what a reading for New Year's Eve. Just be intentional. And I think that crossing over into 2023 is going to be such a beautiful time for you. So on that note, and just leaving it, I'm going to read the affirmation for liberation from the Gaia Oracle Guidebook. And so that is, I release myself from all negative attachment. I trust that this is for my highest good. I trust that this is for the highest good of all. I help others most by not allowing myself or them to be codependent. I look at every situation in a balanced way. So Pisces, I'm going to leave it there. And I hope you have the most wonderful New Year's. and I will see you soon. All right, Scorpio, you are up. Last but certainly not in the least. So just as I've been telling everyone, I'm pulling one energy card, overall energy card from the Gaia deck, and then I'm pulling 3 clarifiers from the Fairy Oracle deck. So for Scorpio, for New Year's Eve 2022, card please for Scorpio, New Year's Eve. One card please for Scorpio, one card. Overall energy card for Scorpio for me. Oh my gosh, that one has been coming up. Seriously, I don't know what it is about that one. And 3 cards to clarify, please, and thank you. Please, 3 cards. 3 cards to clarify. 3 cards. One more card, please, to clarify for New Year's Eve. For Scorpio. Okay, so Scorpio, you have the Temptress, and a lot of this is about not being deceived by something big and dazzling and incredible that's going on. Kind of step back and see a bigger picture in this, because sometimes something that is so tempting or is seducing us in its thrill and glamour is often just that. It can often just be that thrill. It can often just be something incredible. So stepping beyond that can help you really determine a clearer picture of what you are involved in at the moment. To help clarify that, we have the Singer of Courage, and that is really about getting inside and seeing your fears for what they are, which can often be self-limitations. So really kind of sitting in that bigger picture will help you to get a clearer identity of what it is that maybe you need to focus on healing for you to step forward into what's to come. Do you have that courage to go forward in this time, to step beyond the glitz and glamour, you know, and help yourself to face some of your fears? Next up, we have the Fawn, and the Fawn is about natural magic. It's about the simplicity of that natural magic. So it's like the nature of nature itself in all its simplicity. So if you can step outside of the material situation you're in right now, and you're able to see and identify your fears for what they are, and have that courage to move past them, you're going to see how effortless it is for you to move into this free-flowing magic of the universe. And when it is that free-flowing, when it is so natural, you know that that's what's meant to be, and you know that you're in the right spot because it just feels good and it feels right. And the last card that we have is a fiery sword. So basically this is like having the strength and the willpower to overcome and move forward. This is a passionate, fiery entrance. So you're able to kind of overcome this temptress. You can see deceit for what it is. You have the bird's eye view. You know the bigger picture. You've embraced your fears. You've walked through those shadows, and you've allowed magic to become what it is. And now that you're able to just like fully wield it, because you've had that courage, you have the willpower to basically be the essence of what you're meant to do and be. So for this New Year's, I would really just take that time and step back, step out of that razzle dazzle of seduction. It's time for you to really, really see the truth of your fears, to move forward. And you're going to be so blessed, and you're just going to feel so strong and so brave and empowered. 2023 is like, heck, I can do anything. I've got this. So in saying that, I am just going to read the excerpt from the Gaia Oracle Guidebook from the Temptress, or of the Temptress, before I go. So the affirmation is, I listen to and trust my intuition. I look at every situation from a grounded and balanced point of view. Every positive has a negative, and vice versa. I look beyond the superficial and find the truth. I look for substance, and I am not swayed by wild promises. So I hope that helps, and I hope you have the most wonderful New Year's, and I'll see you soon. Thanks so much for being here. So that's it. That's everything. All zodiacs covered for the end of 2022 for your New Year's Eve reading. Just a little quickie, and I'm so happy and excited that this was my very first video, and I will absolutely be coming at you with so much more and in the new year. So until then, I hope to see you in the comments, and I will see you soon. Bye.